Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria. I hope you're all doing great. So for today's Dollar Tree Craft with Me, I will be making a hanging wall shelf. All of the items are from the Dollar Tree with the exception of one item, well actually two. One would be the E6000 glue that I'll be using, as well as the Krylon paint and primer in a matte finish. And I just prefer using the spray paint because it just helps me get my projects done so much quicker. And I also love the adhesion with the paint to the decor piece. It really holds up the paint well, and I avoid the chipping of the paint. So I just prefer to go with that. But if you already have some black acrylic paint on hand, then you could always just go ahead and use that. I also have some white and black Dollar Tree acrylic paint that I'll be using to paint the hearts. I have 3 of the black floating shelves, so these right here. I have 6 of these Dollar Tree decor pieces, 3 of the wooden heart decor pieces. I have a pack of burlap. It's a burlap sheet. You get 3 sheets in a pack. I have my Sharpie pen from Dollar Tree, and I have 3 wooden rulers. Now, they do come in a pack of 2, but I already had one that I just took apart from another DIY that I made, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this one so that I don't have to go and open up another pack. But if this is a DIY that you would like to make, then you will need 2 packs of those. And then I also have some gigantic craft sticks. This pack I already had open, but you can get these at Dollar Tree, and you do get 10 in a pack. So I believe that is everything. And also, yes, I will be using my hot glue as well as my E6000 glue. So without further ado, guys, if you want to see how I put this piece together, then keep on watching. Okay, so to begin the DIY, I've taken my 6 decor pieces and I've made 2 rows with 3 decor pieces in each row. So at the seams, I'm going to take my E6000 glue and glue those together. Then I will take 4 of the gigantic craft sticks, 2 for each row, and I will hot glue them in place at those seams. It will act as extra support, but it will also hold everything nicely together until the E6000 glue dries. I've taken my 3 wooden rulers and I'm going to place them from one row to the other, and I'm going to glue them in the center of each decor piece. So here is the beginning, this is where it ends, so I have it in the center point, and then it'll go all the way across to the center point of this first decor piece, and then I'll do the same for the center and then at the very bottom. So I'll go ahead and glue those with the E6000. So now it is the next day. Everything has dried beautifully. It's very strong. And so now I'm going to take this piece outside, and with my Krylon Fusion all-in-one paint and primer in the matte black, I'm going to give this a couple coats of paint. Okay, so now I am ready to paint my wooden hearts, and I'm going to be using, as I said, the white acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. And then I will just dry brush some black around the edges just to make it look a little bit more worn. Now with the shoelace jute twine, I'm just going to remove them from the holes, and I'm going to put them to the side as I will be using these for the DIY. So my black paint has now dried, as well as the white wooden hearts. So now I'm going to start gluing everything together. So what I did was I just lined up the middle. So you can see in the back of the heart there's 3 pieces that go across. So I lined up the middle with the ruler directly underneath. And then I also went ahead and just traced where my heart is going to be sitting. So I lined everything up first so I know exactly where I want it to go so that it looks fairly straight. I did that with all 3 hearts. And now I'll go ahead and take my hot glue, and I'm going to glue that wooden heart down to each side of the, I call it a ladder because it looks like a ladder to me. And then once those 3 are glued in place, I'll go ahead and take my floating shelves here, and then with my E6000 glue, I will glue these to the hearts. So with this decor piece, I only use the hot glue to glue the wooden hearts to the ladder here. And the reason for that is whenever I'm gluing anything that's wood, usually the hot glue is enough. But just to be on the safe side, I did turn it around to the back, and then I added more hot glue in the back to make it even more secure. Okay, so I just finished dry brushing the black acrylic paint on the white heart, and I love how that looks. Now I'm going to glue on my floating shelves, and for this I'll be using my E6000 glue, and then I will turn it over again and just add some hot glue to the back so that this will stay in place after it has set for a little bit. So what I like to do is just lay out where I want my shelf to go, and then I trace that. It makes it so much easier when I go to glue it on. I mean, with the E6000 glue you do have a little bit more time, but to be less messy, I just like to know exactly where I'm going to be gluing that. So I'll do the same to the other 2 hearts, glue those in place, and then once that is dried, we will move on to the last step. Last thing that I have to do is use those shoestring jute twine ropes that were used for the wooden hearts to hang them. So what I decided to do is take my burlap sheets, and again, you get 3 in a pack. These are from Dollar Tree. Everything that I'm using is from Dollar Tree. And then I went ahead and cut out some triangles because I'm going to make a little banner or pennant banner. And on it, I'm going to print the letters to spell Home Sweet Home. So the top shelf will say home, the center will say sweet, and then the bottom shelf will say home. And I'm just going to hot glue those onto the shelf. And if I ever want to remove them down the road and just have it plain, because it looks really nice plain as it is, I definitely can. And if I want to keep it, then the hot glue will keep it in place. So I'm going to go ahead, make those up, attach them to the shelves, and then I will show you how this wall hanging shelf looks all complete. Okay guys, so here is my Dollar Tree wall hanging shelf, and I absolutely love this. Now right now I have it just leaning up on my step stool because I haven't decided where I want to hang it. In this DIY, I didn't really show how you would be hanging this on the wall. It's totally up to you. If you make this piece, you could either use jute twine glued to the back and hang it up that way, or you can purchase, or if you already have some on hand, some hardware, and then just place it on the back and hang it up that way. I really haven't decided yet, but for now I think I may be putting it here. I just wanted to see how it looks. But nevertheless, again, if you make this, that can be totally up to you. So here I have to say that I really am glad I ended up making this shelf. I had thought about it for a while, but I didn't get around to doing it until now. I will say, if you are going to make this, or if I end up making another one, definitely paint on the back side of the decor piece. I ended up painting or making the front of this piece with the wording that was on the decor sign, and if you go ahead and sand that, then you should be fine. But I would just say paint on the back where there's no words, because even though I gave it a couple coats of paint, it still does come through a bit. You don't really notice it until the light is shining on it, and I actually don't mind it that much because it almost looks like there's a pattern in the wood that's coming through. But where the words are, again, as I said, when the light shines on it, you could see it a little bit more. So I would just recommend painting or making the front of your piece using the back side of the decor pieces without the words. But I love this. I love that I ended up, because I wasn't sure. At first I was almost gonna leave the hearts, but I truly love when you do dry brush the black paint on it, because it definitely softens it up. It was a little bit too bright, and because I do like a farmhouse look, I definitely feel that that gives you that look. And then with the burlap here, little banners that I made, I said there were 3 sheets in the pack, and I don't know why I thought I was gonna use all 3, but I only ended up using 1 and a bit. I guess it really depends on how big or small you make your pennants, but I love it. Another neat thing about this is that if you pick up the Dollar Tree LED push lights, then you can place them underneath the shelf. And this way at night, when you light it up, it will illuminate the second shelf and then the bottom shelf. So that's another idea if you want to enjoy this piece at night as well. But guys, that will do it. This piece here is probably just about 6 feet tall. So even though I did use quite a few items to put this together, it definitely, I feel, is worth every penny. It's just a large piece. I think it's a high-end looking piece. And I think that if you were to find this in the store, you definitely would pay a lot more than what you would make, or than what you would spend to make this yourself. And that will do it for this DIY. I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please share the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love and appreciate it if you did. As always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye for now.